Hello and welcome to Dave Makes Stuff. I've got a project vehicle to introduce to you, because clearly just one project is not enough, right? This 4x4 is a bit bigger, and it's been scratch built out of, well, everything. The bottom half is Land Rover Forward Control, the front end is Isuzu, the back end is Land Rover Defender and other bits, the running gear is Land Rover Discovery, and it's all largely hand built. The cab layout has been converted to left-hand drive. In here you can see the usual collection of Land Rover gear sticks. You've got the normal one for normal gear changes, a high-low lever to give you another 5 gears, and a diff lock lever so you get more traction off-road. Oh, and a handbrake with a reassuringly custom and overbuilt mechanical mechanism, most unlike those non-mechanical mechanisms. The front end accommodates the driver and one passenger, and they sit in splendour over the top of the engine, which is here, one Land Rover 300 TDI 2.5 diesel. Only 110 horsepower, but it's not going to need to go fast where it's going. Moving now to the back, let's take a look at the rear suspension, which is mildly modified from standard Land Rover. It'll actually take 2 shocks on each side so that you don't wear them out if you're driving it hard for too long. There's a 100-litre diesel tank at the back end, and in order that it could live at the back end without needing a bash guard, the walls are 6mm thick. It does weigh quite a bit. Now if we step around the back, you see that it sort of looks Land Rover-y, but not quite. It's just got a bit more headroom. The top half of the stable door is an old Land Rover door that's been cut down and reskinned in stainless. And if we open that, then inside you can see, well, mostly a mess, but there are 7 seats in the back here. And then should you want anyone to sit in them, the future recipient had noted that the steps on the back of their standard Land Rovers kept getting bashed. So the bottom half of the door folds down and becomes a set of steps. So now you can climb in easily, and once you've magically closed the rear door, need a system for that, there's nothing hanging down to get battered. And hey, look, we're in, and it's an absolute tip. We're leaving. It's got these 2 big heavy recovery points because frankly you're not off-roading properly unless you get stuck at least now and then. So they're enthusiastically welded to plates in the chassis. And then, given that where it's going it won't be easy to get spare tyres in a hurry, it has not 1 but 2 spares. And they're actually on rolling mounts so that if they ground out over rough roads or bad terrain, they don't stop you, they roll instead. Neat, eh? For maintenance you can unlock the cab and tilt it forwards, and if we take a look in the engine bay I think you'll be struck by quite how simple it is. A 300 TDI is a really basic diesel, and they go forever. This one's been lightly modified to suit the installation, but it won't be making much power. Down here there's a Land Rover steering box living above the sump guard. It is a standard box, but it's tipped forward by 90 degrees onto its nose. So the input comes in from the cab above, and the output comes out the back of the box and drops down to a rod that moves the wheels. So you're probably wondering, well, why is he building this? And well, it's quite a long story. But there's a mission hospital out in Madagascar, and they serve an area about 100 miles in diameter, and their community health team has only standard Land Rovers. And these are fine enough if things are dry and flattish, or even if things are a bit wet and boggy. So when they can, these Land Rovers go out into the surrounding area and they do a really important job. Because when there's no ambulance service and the hospital is several days walk away, pregnancy complications during labour can be fatal. The trouble is the wet season. The rains are really intense, and then when the floods have cleared, the roads look like this. Initially the plan was to develop and deliver an amphibian, so we called this the swim truck project, but it became clear that was impractical. So we went for a high mobility 4x4 instead. And here she is. Not quite road legal yet, but not far off. So if you'd like to follow the rest of its journey, please subscribe and we'll keep you posted.